back for another Wednesday edition of Wrap It Up, Works in Progress. What the heck? Why is this not finished yet? But regardless of the day of the week it is that we're here in the studio stitching, the boys always insist that first things should be snackies. That we open the concession stand. But Loki, can we introduce ourselves? Hello, welcome to the circus. I'm your host, Phoenix Electra. Here we have the handsome, the fluffy, the Loki. And down here, come on. Gotta make yourself known. Or am I just gonna see your tail? Are we just gonna get tail? We don't even have tail, little man. Little man's here. Come on. Gotta get on the camera. I readjusted the angles. Oh, he's right here. Alright. I should stop rambling. Boys want snacks. But Loki's so sweet. Do you have anything to say for your fans? Can you give them, I would like it meow? You just got head bumps from the mic. That's all we got. I know, hopefully the audio is different. I have my wired headphones. I must have left. Oh, there's my wireless ones. I was looking all over for them, only to see that they're right there. Or I must have set them right there. I don't know where my camera is in relation to me. Oh well. Alright. You want your snackies? Then we'll do some stitching. Yeah? Okay. Let's have snacks. Hold on, Mama can't hold too hard because we got all of our cords for everything. There you are. Alright, I need to go get Freya Fruffers some snackies real fast. You boys, stay right here. I know! I'm right here! I'm right here! Okay. Okay. There we go. Alright, let me get this out of your way, sweet man. Okay, hold on. Little ear. Ow! The terror from the deep. How's everybody's week going so far? Are we doing anything fun? Anything exciting? I know, Wednesday. Ugh. 2 more days. But I don't, there's something, certain jobs where there's no periodicity. Like, if you're a teacher, then sometimes you get summers off. Or if you're a landscaper, depending on where it is, you might get winters off. Or, ow, that was my finger. Alright, okay. Little dude, do you want one more? Because I'm going to put the snack away. Alright. That's it. We're going to have dinner in a couple hours. That's it for right now. I got stitching to do, and I don't want my fingers to be too yucky, lest we mar our fabric. Alright, thanks, Loki. Alright, excuse me, little dude. Okay. I'm back. Actually, let me... just grab these and... since we're not good, check the audio. Alright, let me go to my here. myself, watching myself on different cameras and different times. It's weird. Okay. That's cool. Alright, back up. Where... Alright, let's get back to the present. Pop those out. Alright, what did we get done a little bit? So, here we are. Let me... Oh. Smocking nearly completed. There's a couple stitches, and I realized I didn't quite go to the very endy end. I held it up. I think I'm going to just complete this last bottom row and these last handful over on my right hand section and call it good. I liked it. So I thought this afternoon, we'll use the top of where the smocking section starts, do a rolled hem after I trim the center, because we're going to have this part open, this under the bust. Then these will be gathered at the shoulders, like so, and then there will be a back, which is going to be super low, so I have to do some detail to get the shoulders to attach at the back. I was thinking a little something along the spine, just to hold everything up and in place. And because this fabric was, when I cut it, the length, so I've got two lengths of 60 inches. And I was going to use the other half for the back. What I was contemplating was either gathering the back down or just cutting it on the triangle and adding it in, and then just evening the hem and having this like super, where are we? A long train section, because I haven't made one of those. I don't really, I'm like, what's the, something to just like trip on and make a mess over to get dirty. But I thought it might be fun to have just one garment that has that over the top detail, just to say I've done it. So I was trying to decide whether we're gonna just take the back waist measurement and then make a cone shape, to make some type of a shape, to add that in. And then I also need to still mark the front hem, because I don't want that to be super long, and if this, I need to cut off at least 8 inches, I think, because my whole height is just 61 inches, so 60 inches is gonna leave me way too much fabric in the front. I still have not decided on beads or notions, or whether we're going to do ribbon. There's some design details I've not quite finished working out, but I figured it didn't matter at the beginning quite yet, because the smocking needed to be finished first before I could even, this part just had to be done first. But let me find the center again. When I trimmed it, I marked a little notch at the center section. find the top of the waistband, because that part should also be the same. Okay, and then we're going to very carefully turn it this way. Get my shears, which are also over. We are super organized today. There will be sewing. So we're going to do rolled hems, because what else? What's the circus without rolled hems? I don't know. Alright, let me grab those. We'll zoom in, and we'll start some sewing. Okie dokie, we're back. Right, I'm back to my headless angle. Another handmade-by-me sweater. This is the second sweater I knitted for myself. So let's stand real quick, because we're going to be doing enough sitting. Okay, so I just trimmed just about to the top of the smocking. There we can see. And I'm going to figure out some way that we're going to gather this down. I don't know if I want, it's so little, we could gather it down into, tuck it all in with a ribbon and then have a tie, just a V shape. Let's see what this looks like. Well, that's kind of cute. We did all this work at the bottom because we could take a larger piece of material, do some manipulation to it to shrink its size, and add a detail. That's what we did. Alright, stitching. Let me move our notepad with our ideas for our smocked cows. We've got our project list that we thought of at the beginning of the year, and then we've added to it with Galley's thoughtful suggestions. A scrap lace, mix and match lace costume, mostly so that we can sew the lace corset. I think that's the that was the notion that sent that rabbit hole going. This is super light. Let's use white thread. Our bobbin, our thimble. Phoenix, do you know what words are? Am I supposed to? Yeah, so here's our thimble. I just have it sitting on the spool holder, but maybe it will do its job as a little extra tensioner. Welcome, welcome everybody. We are just getting ready. Thinking about starting some stitching in a second here. Just threading up the machine. And yawning. Oh my god, it's terrible when you try to be like, oh, I'm going to be good and go to bed early, but then that just means it takes longer to fall asleep, and then I wake up in the middle of the night. I can't fall back asleep for a few minutes. Super lame. Maybe later. I need to take the paper off of our snowflake schmata still. That outfit needs to get finished. I was thinking that I was on Sunday to take a length of the white fabric that we played with before, because I've got a whole bunch of it, and use it as a toile for the quilted version, because I'm afraid to cut into that section for the jacket back until I do it once on something that's less precious, because that took a fair amount of work to get that far. Let's see here, I want this side, there's my back with all of the little knots because I didn't carry the thread. The back looks super cool too. It'll look even better after I have gone through and massaged them a little bit with my fingers, but so everything's like ploofy out nicely, and then I'll spritz it with some water and just hold the iron above the fabric, not touching the fabric, because it looks three-dimensional because it is three-dimensional. I don't want to flatten it, but just to press it into shape, which is, I'm always like surprising myself. I'm like, Phoenix is actually looking forward to using the iron once in a blue moon, yes. Let's see here, I know I'm hearing some, if you hear background noise and it's problematic, let me know and I will tell him to be quieter. But I turned off the background noise cancellation, so let's see how that works with the sewing machine, because we haven't tested this out yet. So, alright. The very first Treadle sewing machine live stream on using Rumble Studio with their updated audio control settings. We are off to the stitches. So far so good. I'm still contemplating adding the beads or sequins on the other side of the design. Just need to get everything out and touch it and I've got it. And that's something, I mean, in one school that would absolutely be done before I assemble the dress, but because this dress is backless, even... Hey William, welcome, welcome! How have you been? How is your... You've just been busy like a beaver. How's your no-buy going? What are you... Are things good down there? I gotta finish stuff up. I really wanted, I almost went to the Goodwill today, but I was gonna make myself walk, and it was raining, so I said, no, it's not worth it to me that much. And then also I was like, well, Phoenix, if you need something, you can finish making yourself something new, and then you can get that dopamine hit of, it's mine, and it's new. The only thing that my household is on is things that are absolutely necessary. Just because, oh, it's going good. Oh, good, great, good work. Congratulations. I'm very very glad to hear that for you. I know, that way you needed the extra, like, and now I need to have all this stuff I need to sew, so we might as well just have more live streams. I think that's, I was like, God, all this stuff, work needs to be finished. Maybe I can get projects done a little bit faster. Figure out when in my week I would want to do another show. And wow, this fabric is getting this pulls a thread and tries to get all this. Oh, this, you know what? This is gross. Right, well, you suddenly have a ton of time because you're not going to the thrift store, right? Like, oh no, now I actually have to, like, look at my fabric and use it. I don't have enough upper thread tension. And, oh man. Wait. I am going to unpick this. The question is, I'll do all the rest of the sewing and then I won't torture folks with me unpicking. It's just that upper thread tension is not acceptable, and I'm gonna sew a fancy dress. I'm trying to use better sew. Don't skimp on my technique. So I will unpick that and restitch it. Let's continue on with the stuff that I know I can stitch. Alright. Just quadruple checking the right and around the sides, because this fabric looks exactly the same, other than the knots. Alright. That's looking better. Man, it's like funny how heavy little fabric is. Have they gotten you into like making quilts, or are you just making quilted garments? I was thinking about going through my patterns because I've got some like historical big four patterns, and I don't think I'm ever going to use their pattern. That's not to say that I don't think I will. I mean, I do think I would like to make something in those time periods, but I think I would rather just mark to my measure. Like I've gotten accustomed to rather than cutting up a pattern. So anyway, beautiful. Add some of that to go back to the Goodwill. Use the space enough. I'm really not going to cut them up and use them. I don't. Wow, fancy saying those words. I don't see the point in keeping them just to have them. Alright, I guess I'm gonna do it. Some stuff I'm gonna recycle, and other stuff I'm gonna go back to the Goodwill. But if the nearest join fabrics, if they are going to do a second round of store closings, I might have a hard time not going. Not that I'm not in need for sewing things, but I could be convinced to be in want for discount trim and laces. Fortunately, that one is not on the chopping block yet, and as a result, I do not need to sew faster to empty my stash to make room for new things in the stash. can almost see where it tries to like grab it a little bit. Alright, let's carry on. I guess I shouldn't pull too hard because then we're going to mess with the tension. Maybe we might need to add a little ribbon details. I don't want to like, hey, Synth, what is up? How are you doing? Sneaking in on a Wednesday. Oh, I keep thinking, I am gonna send you a link for one of my favorite Slavic folk-inspired electronica bands. One of their songs is got these grannies DJing, and it's really funny, and I think it would be amused. Saying it out loud, so I do it. But Mr. Audio, how's the sound? Are we sounding okay out there? Oh, awesome. Yeah, I was like, I'm not sure if everybody else would enjoy it, but it's so funny, and it makes me think of springtime, and it's the ode to the bumblebees. I know, I hope you had a good Valentine's Day with Mrs. Trax, Mrs. Synth. It sounds almost like there's a reverb where the audio is echoing. I am using Rumble Studio. Let me double check. The audio cancellation, echo cancellation is on, but noise suppression I turned off. Let me turn it on and see if that makes a difference. Because then I don't know if it is. It's not bad. Okay. So hopefully it's going. It should be. I have my microphone plugged into my capture card, which is going to OBS. So I think it's happening. But and then I go to Studio, or I use the virtual camera in Studio from OBS. So yeah. That's all I know. Oh, let's see here. You've been using it too. I forgot to mute the tab. It was interesting when you're messing with the settings. It sounded like it went away for a second. Yeah, I turned on the noise cancellation just to see if that made a difference, because I don't want the sewing machine to get picked up as background noise. Oh, your issue you've had with the audio is forget. Oh, right. Then you get this. Oh, mute the tab. See, that I didn't customize. Where? I always forget how. Where in Google do I mute the tab from? It could be. Alright, let me stitch, see if that makes it better. If not, I'll have to go back. I forgot how to mute it in Chrome. We're almost to the end of this. Where am I stitching? Did I take myself on a really long journey that I didn't need to be on? Yes. Alright, I'm gonna stop. Oh, dear. It's not better than you just letting it perfect. Okay. I appreciate it. No, that's good. That's why I asked, because I know what I'm not as bad at, and then I'm like, oh, there's people who are savvier than I. Let me just check in and see if I need to do any retootling. But I tried to sew the seam way longer than I needed to because part of this is going to be attached to the back. Did I rip? I have to be very careful because twice I pulled too hard and popped a stitch, which kind of sucks. Maybe that's a reason to add some beads or sequins at these little junctures to just reinforce everything a little bit more. And I'm going to chop off the bottom, do a rolled hem at the bottom, then attach the side, the back section. Oh. I'm just trying to start with everything even. Line. Okay. 60. Yeah, we'll just chop this much off. I should measure a little bit more, but you know, sometimes just fly by the seat of our stitches. Alright, also make, okay. We've got a little bit of extra. Yep, we are gambling away, stitching away. Oh my gosh, who knows what was the funny thing? So everything's like clown world. So I'm going to continue on my one human mission to keep sewing, to share the love of stitching.
Oh, I should really take some. Thanks, dear.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Alright, rolled hem for the bottom. Because that'll just agree, it'll just magic the back into it. That's how it's going to happen. It's just going to magically appear. I could, this way to keep the most amount of fabric without fussing around with the back too much. Because I had contemplated doing just one row of the smutton detail to the top lace to the back. But I wasn't, I just couldn't decide if I wanted that, if I wanted the smutton to just be on the front and then the back to have the ribbon or bead, ribbon and bead, that each would have its own fancy detail. So, still thinking about it, open to suggestions. Which Duffy's mind do that. So like, here, what do you think? Knowing in the back of my head that if that doesn't do exactly what I want, it just do what he says. I've just been like generally curious a little bit. Because I'm not fully committed. Oh, that's right, I am also trying out the low latency string key, so we're just trying to try out all the things that we can have the most number of good experiences. Okay. So here's the front, all hemmed up. Just stand back and see. Oh, I don't have a head, so the seam doesn't make any good. I'm gonna have to make myself a new mannequin. Oh, let's see. So you have Cynthia, you've not been using the low latency was going to, but decided to just keep it simple right now. It's working for you. That's perfect. Yeah, that's the only reason I did it was because it was literally they said you just click the low latency key, you get the key in Rumble, and then from Studio it just does it. I was like, I can clickety clack 2 buttons. So I don't know. I know for those all you gamer folks, they're so particular. And I'm just like, do. What are you doing, little dude? Yeah. Come on. Come on. I need a cat break. We need a kitty break. Oh, come on. Hey, little dude. I know it's raining outside. Not cold. Oh my god, so glad that we finally thawed out. There's just where some of the parking lots have been plowed that there's a giant, not giant, but there's still lingering heaps of snow. Really, it's tiered for you. First thing, music good, that's it, right? That is the most important. Then the video, exactly. That makes complete sense, because when you're, when the best part, not the best part, one of my favorite parts about Cynthia's channel is the Friday night dance parties. They're so good. Make my family happy. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I like both of mine to be not terrible, but I'm simple too, but also very complicated. I'm just a woman. Let's see here. If I could mark triangles and really fluff out the back, or do I just want to gather it down to what I need and then just have all the extra be a really long train? Why am I having an existential crisis about this? Oh, I know, because I don't want it to look bulky in the back. I want it really clean. Which means I should get the waist and then just cut triangles so that it's really, it flares out at the bottom, but is very as narrow as I want it to be at the front. Which also means I should work on finishing up some other stitching. Because I don't feel like crawling around on the floor right now to cut this out. Where's my pen? But I'll just mark where I want the measurements to be, and then I can cut the excess off from the top, leave it all at the bottom, and then throw in some side seams. So we are gonna unpick that, restitch that. That's done. Back is sort of sorted. All right, I guess we should get back to, because I have not finished my blue bloomer set. We are almost done, but not quite done, so I need to finish it. Hey Jess, welcome. We're getting a whole party in here on the Wednesday afternoon, early evening time. I'm not disappointed with this time slot. So, let me catch you up with where I left off. Here's the top. I gathered in the bust and have pins, so I need to finish sewing those, add crisscross straps, and our bottom ruffle to the top, and that is finished. And just a little bit of trimming on the lower bottoms, and those are also finished. Let's do the, there we go. Keep finding parts for this project and then misplacing the pieces for this project and then finding them again. So it is good that we are in the low buy, no buy, and in the no buy phase of that primarily. Alright, let's do the shorts first because they're going to be easier. I'm afraid of I'm a little scared to do the chemisette lest I fudge something with the whatchamacallits, the bust cups. Alright. Let's open this flexible seam binding. I'm going to stitch it on the wrong side and then it'll be showing on the outside, and this is going to be our drawstring channel for the waist, and then I was thinking we'll do the bias hem folding for the leg cuffs. Because we've got so much going on, why add something like similar to calm the eye down when we can just throw more excitement at it. Oh, I'm still on the lookout for that Brazilian Auntie's channel, and more specifically the video where she makes her embroidery transfer paste. Because I know I saw her do it and I was like, oh, would I have maybe? I'll figure it out. Alright, and so let's see. So huge, not a huge, but I'm like a centimeter off on this one panel. So I'm just gonna really carefully trim this side down to match the other ones. Please don't drop into my tea. Any fun sewing projects underway? Or projects in general? I need to get these ones done so I can start on the next thing, but my brain is mentally preparing for what I want to make next, but I'm not allowed to start anything besides the sketching phase or materials management list until specifically these three pieces that we've shown today. They need to be known. Right in there. Okay, alright, that's done. Maybe if I have enough of this, I will use that for all of it. Alright. Let's get stitching! No, let's switch out our presser feet. We don't need the roll template. We need good electricity. And I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. It's cold and dusty and touching fabrics, and that always kicks up more dust because fabrics are dusty sometimes. No, I think I'm gonna do the bias tape for the waistband, so I can slide through a slightly chunkier drawstring material than these. We'll do the. Okay. I already started. Let's start with the legs. I am so. Phoenix, do you know how to sew? Do you know how to order your project operations? Questionable. Very questionable. Too late now, the choices have already been made. Probably at the bottom of these legs, we have the selvage, so it's not going to unravel. So I'm going to stitch from the wrong side on top, fold it over, and then the ribbon's just going to cover the bottom of that selvage. Oh, there's noisiness outside, and it is startling. That hoarder car is still outside, so that's fun. I don't know if I've seen the human that car belongs to, unless I have. Alright. Look. I'm just trying to be very carefully lining this up. So I don't want, I just want the littlest amount. I also need to make sure that I catch both the layers together because Phoenix is notorious for only sewing through one layer and then needing to go back. So I'm trying to practice being careful. It's not enough to know how to do things awesome. You actually have to practice. And then through here we'll also string a little drawstring so we can get little poofs so that the legs are nice and tight at the bottom. No wardrobe malfunctions, please. And let's see here, where are we? We have that. I think. Oh, right, Phoenix, you can't even start thinking about cutting strips and prepping for the Schneezallen until you finished the corded corset. So, it's terrible. I like half marked this blue bloomers and chemise on the to-done list, and I shouldn't have done that. Oh, awesome, Jesse, you had a snow day, an inch of snow. Oh, that's such a West Coast thing too. You're like, oh no. And then tomorrow you're going to be out of school again, so you'll be sewing hopefully the majority all of the day. Ooh, that is awesome. Ooh, creating a quilt from leftover fabrics. Get it done before William's right. Yes. I know that I was like, oh, depending on how long my voice holds out or I need a snack break, I'm like, we'll just pregame. But in my head, I can't see the Wednesday shows going too much after 6 o'clock because I need to. But yes, we are getting this thing done. I definitely have the blue set completely finished. I'm not going to model it right now because it's too cold and it is warm sweater and warm, squishy pants time, not little underwear time. This cat's getting into stuff. I hear it. I know, I should, it's been a hot minute. Actually, oh no, this is his 1,000th subscriber goal and show. I need to try to pop back over on a Saturday. We can finger press this up. We have a cute little ribbon channel for little drawstring on the little thigh section. Oh, excuse me, it is not sleepy time yet. I don't need to be taking a nap. Okay, I'm gonna stand while I finger press this section. Oh, maybe, yeah. It's like, oh, if I'd sewn both of these, then I could have had a longer standing break, but it just means I get to stand twice. Alright, back to the sitting. I really need to figure out what I'm going to do about this stool situation because I don't enjoy having a numb leg after I've done sewing. That is going to need to change. You should be fancy and do other surgeons not. Okay. Talked me into it. You know, part of my brain was like, oh, if I could do another insertion lace section, that would be cute at the bottom. Then I was like, Phoenix, you need the drawstring. If you cut the base fabric, you will not be able to have a drawstring because this is not eyelet lace. Say, Phoenix. Okay. Alright. More tea, less yawning. I have to sit through a meeting on Friday, so I was hoping to get quite a bit of the filler stitching done on the snowflake skirt. Because that one I don't think I've stitched on since last year. That's another project that's hanging over my head right now. I either have to finish it soon while there's a glimmer of anything reminiscent of winter left, or I'm going to put it in the closet until October. And I'd rather put a finished garment away than something that is not done. Oh, that's right. That's why we're going to make a mock-up of the jacket on Sunday. Alright, Phoenix. Sometimes my brain cells think they're cooking with gas. Sometimes we stitch with thread. Other times we just pretend. And I do need to make sure I leave a little opening at the top so I can get the drawstring inside. If you sew it closed, I'm gonna have to unpack it. Okay, so no surgeon's note. I should have stitched this down differently. Because what I should have done Alright. Should have left the sides open and closed the top. I can massage it out on this first one, and I will remind myself for the second one. Next, don't overlap the ends done. 2 more to go. And then all that's left on these bloomers is to add the drawstrings, which we've already sewed because we are going to use some of that white bias tape that we stitched together a hot minute ago. Oh, right, because also, Phoenix, here's the side seam. Also, I want the opening to be at the side of the leg, and I think I screwed that up on the other one too. That's alright. I got this. And if somebody's looking that close at my underwear, I must really like you. Alright, now I'm remembering to backstitch and do all that jazz. Alright, we're trucking along, traveling along. Sleeves just as well. I got something else for the waistband, and I keep that I'm using up pieces and having empty cards so that I can later go through the total beautiful laces and wind up the longer lengths, separate the shorter lengths for the lace costume that barely stuck into my head. So I would rather not delve into another giant smocking project right now. I need to think about that one a little bit more. What kind of a jacket do I want? Giant sleeves, couple. Actually, alright, my brain is going too many projects. Stay focused. Just trimming off a little snip off the tip to just even that seam out a little bit. Just drive the right direction. Yes, I had some spice in me for Sunday, but today I just wanted to just get work done. And encourage other people to work. No UFOs. No projects half done. No half finished project. No unfinished objects. No more works in progress. Let's move the in process to the completed file. I have been doing better this week about making sure I wear as many handmade garments every day. And it's been nice wearing the half-bound stays with the stomacher piece. It encourages me to have better posture and tuck my rib cage in, like stand and be more active in my activities of daily living. I can just trim it. I just have this little piece left. Not enough for the waistband. That's fine. Yep, finger press and repeat. Oh, sorry. Like apologizing for yawning, even though nobody's seeing me yawn. Just that I feel bad for being quiet, but it's okay. I don't need to prattle the whole time. Just most of the time. Oh my gosh, I need to stop. I'm like in my head thinking of like, oh, if they have some black lace trim, beaded trim, red trim, I need to get this lace costume started so I can empty out my lace tub so I have a reason. When the time comes to go to Joann's. But it is making me a little bit sad about the folks who are cheering about Joann's closing, thinking that their online fabric store was gonna just take off. I really like to touch the fabrics. I don't think... No, I can say it's 100% certainty. I have never bought fabric online. I bought notions, I bought thread, but not fabric. It's the fabric store or Goodwill, and not an insignificant amount has come from a Goodwill. But I would want to touch it. And I don't always trust the labels. Most, or if it's something like high-end. I mean, I would, wouldn't have to twist my arm hard to buy silk off of, like, Silk Baron or from Mood or something. But, yeah, I don't know. I have been getting spoon-fed on Instagram. There's a new sewing, new to the online retail space, sewing supply store outside of Pittsburgh. That I guess this is the business has been there for 3 generations, and it started with somebody going door to door selling buttons, which is so cute. But they are opening the wholesale. That's the word. But there's no minimal order amount. I was like, I like those words. That sounds good to me. But I still don't need anything until I'm not in need. I'm completely in want. It's not for even anything specific. It's just and that's not a good reason. It's not a good reason to spend money. It's a great reason to sit at the sewing machine and use what I have in my stash. It was fun the other week. Last week when I went through the threads and it had some that still had the original wrappers on it from when I bought it ages ago. I was like, okay. I even got to take packaging off of School of Thread. Look at how new that was. They might do on the other side is just finish the top and just make a little slice and lace side where I want the opening to be. Hey, who said you could fall off foot? No, nobody gave you permission to unscrew yourself. Get tight. Alright, trim our threads because we're trying to not be sloppy. Alright, legs done. Let's get this waistband done, and we have a pair of bloomers officially did. And we'll do the top. And we'll go from there. Yeah, we're just gonna keep enjoying how manufacturing of sewing goods is sexist because it has manufactured has man in it. Oh, you are looking for fabric to make. Oh, the walking skirt with a blouse. What would you for that blouse? I would do like they call it shirting weight. Let me grab mine. Hold on. Okay. So for my shirt waist, I'm pretty sure this is what they call like shirting weight. So it's not. It's like light to medium weight cotton. This one I think is. Yeah, it doesn't smell like silk. That would be super bougie. For the skirt, that kind of depends a little bit. But I wonder, also it depends on how warm you want it to be. So I think traditionally some of the choices, like a wool for the skirt that's like not too heavy but not too skinny would have a nice drape to it, but that would be warm. Or you could do I mean, if you wanted to be super fancy, you could do like velvet. Meow! It's not time for dinner. But I don't. I wanted to be super fancy. Right? Those like. I don't. I can't. I'm not in a place where I can get away with $80 a yard fabric. But yeah, they call it shirting weight for the cotton. For the top, and if you want a more wintry one, I would do a wool. Even you could do a lightweight wool even for in the summertime. That's what I would think. If you wanted something more detailed, I mean, you could do the top like in a embroidery on glaze that's got a little detail to it, or you could just do like a white shirting. Or like that would be fun for like class to just do like, I'm gonna be the old-fashioned schoolmarm today. We don't live in the 21st century. We're going back to the 20th. Yeah, and then I would, Yeah, like it's probably cheaper if you picked something that's got a little of the poly in it, but it's not necessarily going to feel as nice. Jewel has got like some of those types of fabrics. If yours isn't going out of business, or if it is, to just like touch it and see, because the shirt needs some structure, but not, you don't want it to be able to stand on its own. And the other question, are you going to make like are you going to wear your modern underwear underneath it, or are you going to go like all in and do a pair of combinations and then a corset and a corset cover and then a petticoat and then your skirt and then your top? And either way is you do whatever you want. The only reason I'm asking is if you're going to add all of the historical undergarments, to buy a little bit more fabric, because it's going to change. Your measurements are going to be a little bit bigger probably than with modern undergarments. But that's what I would think. That's where I would start. And or you could do corduroy for the skirt. You could do it just something a heavier weight. And then you get to decide. Some of those skirts would have a layer at the bottom of like tarlatan or horsehair to like help it swish around. Yeah, look around, and then I like to touch fabrics that I'm gonna wear. And that would be a place you could easily like look at the Goodwill and get like old woven bed sheets, or if you got like some random calicos that you like have laying around to just do a practice of, to get the measurements right. Modern at the moment. Yeah, that's completely fine. Because yeah, that definitely adds a little bit of extra work, but yeah. But you'll need a corset. Yeah, yes. And then once you start getting into making corsets, I haven't pulled mine out in a while. Maybe we'll whip up that ribbon corset real quick on Sunday too. I've got to get stuff finished stitching because I'm trying to be over ambitious. But I've got a punch tool for putting in the metal eyelets. Even with it, I've learned this over time, because I didn't when I first got modern corsets. But it is helpful to have like a layer between the corset and your skin so that things don't rub. So like a little tank top or something, or something. A camisole, a tank top. Just so that the bones aren't digging into you. Yeah, making stays. I loved all of those stays, corsets, bodies. They are a good pair is so comfortable. We don't need a corset, or you can be like me. It's like, I need 5 completely different styles, because one corset does not roll them all. yeah, the corset layer, the boning does change your shape and can change your measurements. And don't worry, you don't have to tightly lace it. You can just wear it how it feels comfortable. Because it does take a little getting used to, but it's one of my most, I wear mine a couple times a week or like rotate through different ones. Depends on how I'm feeling. And I do wear the quilted ones I made quite regularly. Just because they're warm and it's like wearing a hug. We're almost done with the waistband. And then these bloomers are did and dusted. I know, maybe we'll have to make a couple. I've got a length of orange, white, red, and a longer length of black lace fabrics that I could just have in the stash for a little while. So Emily was joking about using my scraps. I was like, I could. Plus, you can make some new lace. And I have a few yards already that I haven't cut into yet. Wow, I keep trying to lose my voice. That is not acceptable. Just a little bit left for this one. Are you gonna make your corset, or are you gonna? I bought my first one when I was. I had a corset for a while. I think I got my very first one at like a TJ Maxx in the early 80s. And I still have it, actually. Just gonna flip this over. Then you're gonna call this done. You know, it'd be nice if I could have all the cameras, all of the computers, and plug the iron in at the same time, but I feel like that is one electrical appliance too many. So I think I'm just gonna run a quick row of top stitching and then we'll sew the bottom down for our waist channel. It'll just help it to lay nicer. Sorry, I don't want to be complaining, just don't like when sometimes ladies just get cranky. Sometimes I just hear the most ridiculous things. I'm not at liberty to talk about other than to just say, I hear ridiculous things, and I just have to keep my mouth shut. Sometimes just try not to laugh. Maybe I should know. I was like, maybe it would be funny if I did just start laughing, but that's not probably not the best idea either. I also haven't figured out which of our projects on the list would be most amenable to getting out our bottle of tube of B6000 for, because still have some left after 2 years, and it is becoming a annual springtime misadventure streaming of Phoenix getting into P6000, which for the uninitiated is a fabric glue that requires significant amounts of ventilation. It's so awesome that after a while you start to taste it, and once that happens, Phoenix can't always be responsible for the words that have left my mouth. I need to check in and hope Killer is alright so they can be there to help keep me on track. That episode, because yeah, that's usually a funny one. Jess, why did I want to call you Jen? Another 3-letter, I can't even cover. You've been doing so much research. I'm trying to start off simple. Yes, that is a very good plan. If you're gonna make the corset, I've got there are a couple of the easiest to get a hold of in the free versions, and I don't completely hate their patterns always, are the Mood Fabrics has a couple of free corset patterns, and there's a woman who is not online anymore, but there is in the archives of the InfoWebs her corset patterns, which had been available for free. And I really liked them. But yeah, a simple walking skirt and a shirtwaist, great places to get started. And then knowing, like, those pieces you pick are like late Victorian, early Edwardian. And it's kind of like a transitional time for corsets too, because some of them are becoming less rolled, and there is some like stretchy, early elasticated materials coming out at that period in time. So what is it they call the Ferris shirtwaist? The Ferris corset. It's like a little strappy one. I don't even think he has any ones. The Ferris goods, I'm getting stuff confused in my brain. But yeah, I did back in the earlier shows. I made the Violette from Arania Black, and actually the one I liked even better, I'm gonna forget the name. It was a 1908 riding corset. Oh, do I have it? Let me grab that corset, because that one's actually nice. Okay, so here is my 1908 riding corset, and it really doesn't have very minimal bones. It's got this is not my favorite bust because it is super bendy. But I marked off my corded stays from this one because it's got just the panel at the hip gores and the bust gores that I am missing one. But yeah, this was a free pattern. Really liked it. Pretty easy, straightforward. the hardest thing with making corsets is just taking the time to be very careful in the measurement taking, the marking of the seams, because I not especially the very first one I was getting, is I would trace it, mark the stitching line and mark the cutting line, so that you know and to remember, like, then you know, like, that the seam allowances are there and everything's marked, and then having each of the panels, writing a T for the top and a B for the bottom, and registration marks to keep the what lies next to each other correct, and to remember to cut the pieces face to face and not on top of each other. You cut the right side, you turn it over, and you cut the left side. Don't sandwich them. Even though you could get away with it if the fabric is the same on the fashion side and the inside, but to remember in your brain, there was many times where I would, and still do, cut even identical fabrics face to face just to do it. Because then it will prevent you from errantly cutting two of the same. You need one right front and one left front, not two right fronts. And it's easy to get mixed up. You're welcome, Jess. Sorry for that really long, like, this is from what I've learned of a sewing nobody, my unschooled best practices for corset sewing. It's completely doable. And I mostly know because I made a couple bras that I've screwed up the face-to-face cutting. It really makes a huge difference. I know there's other, like, for purchase patterns, Laughing Moon or Red Threaded or what's that clockwork? There are for sale ones. Well, that goes back. I have learned I do not enjoy bought patterns because they require too many alterations, and you're welcome. I'm sure if Allie was poking around, there would be a lot more suggestions. That's what I've learned from experience. My whole was like 3 years of when I first delved into making my first historical undergarments. Been that long? I've been sewing underwear for 3 years live on the internet. Yeah. Okay, but and get enough. You're gonna need to make practice mock-ups. The first one very rarely, because like you have to get the waistline needs to be in the right spot and all these things. They're finicky. There's lots of videos of or pre-records of people doing it. I don't know if no, because I don't usually cut live. I just sew live. But yeah, I just with needing to do so many adjustments, I can't. By the time if I bought a pattern, by the time I'm done making the adjustments, it's basically a new pattern. So I'm like, it's not worth it. It's easier to in my head to manipulate the free patterns. But yeah, Mood's got a couple, and at least one of them would kind of like work for that time period. Or if you want that pattern for the riding corset, I'll figured that out. I could just link the. I'm sure there's an easy way that I'm not thinking about. Alright, we're just slowing the bottom down, and we have a really for really completed pair of loomers. Because spreading the drawstring count is absolutely required. Yeah, Allie is a treasure. I've learned so much every time so much knowledge in that brain, and I feel so privileged to be able to have access to it sometimes. Oh, that reminds me, I need to get my subscription to the IsMax so I can see if there's any new articles from the paper. Slow down, we're getting yucky stitches. I'm getting Muslim to practice, but that is a very good place to start. Yep, just get the. Yeah, and for the corsets, it's usually, it all depends. I like the writing corset was just a single layer, because there's single layered corsets, there's double layered corsets, there's stuff that's got lots of bones, there's stuff that doesn't have lots of bones. I bought all my boning and busks off Amazon. I've tried the plastic bone, I've got some of the steel metal bone. I've not tried the flexible bones that you put the little caps on. Oh, the sprung steel bones. That's the one. I mean, there's some. Corsetry is only a problem because of the small but very helpful and or / absolutely necessary specialty sewing supplies that come into it. Because then once you figure out the pattern, then you gotta check it and then get the busk right and learning how to set the busking on. I think way in the archives from like 2 years ago, there's probably like streams of me suffering through some of those steps. I would do them again, but they're not, I don't. Oh, we'll see, but if you, let me know what you need help with. Or if you've got questions that are around, I'll let you pop into my show and you can ask questions. Because it's been a while since we've had guests here. We're not adverse to guests. Sometimes I just like to talk to the air. Yeah, that's a good place. Though for the corset, getting back to the corsets now, that's a lot of times it's a strong canvas, and then you gotta figure out what type of your seam technique. So let me know when you get there. You can figure out during one of the regularly scheduled shows. So we can talk about it. Okay, bloomers are blooming officially. Yay! And the crowd went wild. So we need to nip these in all that. Adorable. I am afraid to do this on camera. Maybe I need to use a little clown's room. Which means, alright. you everybody who's been, thanks y'all for coming out on a Wednesday afternoon. I know it wasn't the longest show, but we're here. We're gonna have so many completed objects to show off on Saturday, but I'm gonna call it a show because I need to just stand up for a few minutes because I got a lot of sewing ahead of me and I'm gonna be stuck to my bench. Don't wait till tomorrow to be fabulous today. Don't laugh at others unless you have laughed at yourself. And I will be back at the machine on Saturday morning where we're gonna get back to our embroidery lessons from the Singer Book of Art embroidery instructions for art embroidery. Alright, until then, have fun, enjoy something, touch grass, make something, and be amazing. Alright, I'm out of here. Till Saturday, or wherever I see folks next. Alright, TTFN!